Well, there it is, guys. My record for week number 1. Not all that great, but about what I expected. I figured I'd miss a couple and get a couple right, and so I figured 500 is a good way to start. Could have been better, could have been much worse. So we got something to build on at least. 3-3 record going into week number 2. All in all, I'll take it. Wish it could have been 4-2 for obvious reasons. Would have liked to won my matchup with Mikey, but what can you do? You try to do your best and then go on to the second week. It's no use complaining about it. It's not going to make it any different. So let's recap last week just a little bit. First, like I said, Mikey beat me this week, 93-81. Made a bad decision by starting Jamal Charles over Matt Forte. Been going back and forth on that one all week. Couldn't make up my mind. Finally went with Charles, and it was the bad move because Forte is looking very good in that Mike Martz offense and caught a lot of passes. Didn't rush all that well, but caught a lot of passes. So, going to have to look at that matchup a little closer from now on and maybe make the right decision this coming week. Hopefully I will anyway. The second matchup was the Intimidators, Derek's team, versus Chris's L-Town Beatdown. As expected, the Intimidators got the best of the Beatdown. The Beatdown have Chris is coming to a situation where he's a little bit behind because of taking over a team that probably wasn't looked after as closely as it should have been. The Intimidators, defending champions, put up triple-digit points. They're going to do that a lot. They did it a lot last year. They're going to do it a lot this year. So to beat the Intimidators, you're going to have to put up a good number, and L-Town just didn't have it this week. So congratulations to Derek on his victory this week. I'm going to be saying that a lot, I have a feeling. The Sophia Slawcats, Paul's team, versus Dwight's Thomasville Jokers. The Slawcats had a very good week, got good production from everyone except for Beanie Wells. Not exactly sure what happened to Beanie, but I know that he put up 0 points for the Slawcats, and Slawcats were still able to come up with a victory and score 97 points, almost triple digits without Beanie. So that was a good week for Paul's team. The Avengers and the Craven Pines Soaring Condors. What a matchup. LA Avengers scored 108 points, which is the best in the league this week. And Craven Pines Soaring Condors put up 104 points, which was the second best this week. And how many times did that happen last year? I think I went back and looked at last year's results and found that happened 4 times where Sean's team was playing the team that scored the most points during that week. And it seemed like that Sean got snake bit so many times last year, and that it's already happened in the first week this year. And all I can say is we better keep sharp objects out of, away from Sean this week, and hope that things turn out better for him, because that was just a tough loss. The next matchup was Ian's team versus the Ligers. And the Ligers were able to pull out a 91-89 victory. All Ian needed was 6 or 7 points from Ray Rice on Monday night, and Ray couldn't get it done for him. Only got 4 points, and the Ligers win by 2, and it was a good matchup, and congratulations to Dustin and the Ligers. The last matchup was Craig Beard's Trinity War Dogs versus Rob's Westover Wallaroos. And the War Dogs won in overtime. It was tied after all the games on Monday and Sunday, and because we don't have ties in the league, the tiebreaker was based on bench points, and the Trinity War Dogs had more bench points than the Wallaroos, so the Trinity War Dogs get that 1 extra point that they needed to give them the victory this week. So congratulations to Craig and the War Dogs, and condolences to the Wallaroos. They both had good weeks, but just Craig was the one that pulled it out. Real quickly, let's go over the trophies / awards for the week. The top dog, as we've said before, goes to the Avengers. The lucky dog goes to Craig Beard and the Trinity War Dogs, as he only scored 78 points, but still got the victory. And that's all that matters in the league, right? Getting those victories. The Donkey Award goes to L-Town Beatdown. I'm sure that Chris will make some changes on that team and will get more competitive as the year goes on, and we'll have that team ready to go as the weeks go on. The Tough Break Award, as I have mentioned before, goes to Sean Hildreth and the Soaring Condors. We may have to rename this the Sean Hildreth Award because of how many times this has happened to him over last year and now starting up this year. The Matt Millen Award, as I mentioned before, should have started Forte over Charles. It cost me the victory, so I give myself the Matt Millen Award this week. Not much of an award, but you know, I deserve it. And the last but not least, the Marty Herney Award. Well, we're going to give that to the War Dogs this week for having more bench points than Rob and getting the victory based on the overtime rules. So congratulations and or condolences to our award winners this week. And so without further ado, let's go into week 2 predictions. The first prediction will be the Mad Dogs versus the War Dogs. Me against Craig. The Dog Bowl, as this will be known this week. Be a good matchup between two teams that are very evenly matched. Could go either way. I think I will prevail. I don't think we're going to have to go into overtime either, Craig. I think I got you. And I hope I do anyway if I start the right people. So anyway, I think I will get the best of Craig and the Trinity War Dogs this week. And I'm sure Craig will have something to say about this later. Waiting for it. Anyway, the next matchup will be Shake and Bake, Ian's team, versus the Jokers, Dwight's team. And I believe that based on the fact, even with Ryan Grant out, Shake and Bake's got Arian Foster you can plug into that hole. Shake and Bake's got a good team, good strong team, and I think they will get the best of the Jokers this week. Third matchup it went from the frying pan to the fire for Sean this week. Last week he had the Avengers. This week he's got the Intimidators, the defending champions, to face. And this is going to be another very high-scoring game. It could be the same deal. Sean could put up a big number, but I believe that the Intimidators are going to put up one that's a little bit better. So I'm going to say the Intimidators are going to win this one. Won't be surprised if it goes the other way. But as of right now, I see as everything, all the indications are that the Intimidators will win this one this week. The next one is the Avengers versus the L-Town Beatdown. Coming off the Avengers' big win this past week, I believe they will build upon that and will beat the Beatdown this coming week, also to go 2-0. The next matchup is the Ligers versus the Slawcats. And I think the Slawcats had a good week last week, so did the Ligers. And I believe, probably based on quarterback play, that then the uncertainty of Beanie Wells and what that situation is, I believe that the Ligers will pull this one out this week, and so I say that Dustin's team will beat Paul's team this week in this matchup. Last but not least is the Italian Stallions versus the Westover Wallaroos. And this is going to be another one that's going to come right down to the wire. I believe both teams are evenly matched, and probably based on what I see here, that maybe the fact that the Stallions have just a little bit better at wide receiver than the Wallaroos, I have to give them the nod this week. But it's going to be one of those. It's going to be really tight. You know, it was tight between Craig and Rob last week. I think it'll be tight between Mike and Rob this week. So I'm giving the edge to Mike and his Italian Stallions. So anyway, that's my predictions for the week, such as they are. Remember, look at the waiver wire, do some research, pick up those players that are hot each week, because there's injuries every week in the NFL, and there's new players coming in, new players that can be used. So everybody use your waiver wire. Let's make some trades, and let's have some fun. So good luck to everyone.